Hey guys, Frank here and welcome in another video in our Digital Classroom Tips series. Today we're going to talk about this shot and how did I take this one? During the workshops I always love to challenge myself, and sometimes we also build a little set. In this case we're using a flight case and some materials that I still had in our studio. Now I strongly believe that when you build a set you have to do it more than just place something in the set where your model can sit on. Create a little bit of depth in your set. It just looks better and it gives you more creativity with, for example, your lighting. For example, these metal trusses in our set, and I hope that's the correct term in English, those will capture the light very nicely and reflect the light, and it just gives you a lot to look at as a viewer. So let's talk a little bit about the lighting setup. For this lighting setup I'm using a GT400 with a Giotto softbox, the S26 with a grid. Now the S26 is a smaller softbox from Giotto. It's great to travel with, but it gives you a very nice light spread. Now we also have an S36 with a grid. That gives you about the same light spread, but it's a little bit of a deeper softbox, and that means that the light is just a little bit softer and aimed more directly at our model. Now for this one, because I also use the set, I'm using the 26, so I get a nice harsh quality of light, not too harsh of course, but a nice quality of light, and by using the grid I still channel the light a little bit towards my model, but I still have more than enough spread to light the whole set. If I want to do something similar, I can also use a big softbox with a grid, but then for me the light is just a little bit too soft for what I want to achieve here. Now of course we also want to incorporate a little bit of a blue color in the setup. So that's why I'm using the Rogue magnetic system with the dome behind my model to give a very nice blue hue to our set. And the omnidirectional dome is awesome for this because it emits the light both forward but also to the sides and up. Now up we don't use, but the sides and down we can use of course. Now the nice thing, and also the thing to remember with the magnetic system from Rogue, is that when you use the omnidirectional dome it becomes very important where you place your light and where you point it to. One might think, hey, it's an omnidirectional dome, just place it somewhere and just light the whole set. And that's correct. As soon as you use it as light in light, then it doesn't really matter where you point it, you just place it in the same angle as your main light source and it just opens up shadows or gives a color to shadows. We use it a lot that way. But when I incorporate it into the set, now it becomes very important in correlation with my model, where do I place that light source? And in most cases you can have a very nice trick in your head. If I need more light on my model, just aim the light source towards my model, right? When I want less light on my model, aim the light source away from our model. And this is exactly how an omnidirectional dome works. The only difference is, with an omnidirectional dome you have to realize the light emitting straight through the dome is always a little bit stronger than the light coming from the bottom and from the sides. So that means if you want that light on your backdrop to be beautiful blue, you just aim it a little bit towards the backdrop and your model will still be lit by the light emitting from the sides and of course from the bottom part of that omnidirectional dome. And that's exactly what we did here. The main light setup was very easy. After that we just tweaked the dome until we get exactly the results that we wanted. Now this image, it just gave me so much vibe from Freddie Mercury, Elton John, David Bowie. So although there was a little bit of a discussion about what she should wear, some people said, hey, bare feet, some people said, hey, high heels, I just went for the sneakers. And you might think it clashes a little bit with the clothing, but that's something that I love in photography. Sometimes you want to create something that's a little bit different from what you normally see. And in this case, it just looks like she came right out of the stage, straight onto the flight case, and we just took the picture. Now, the only thing I changed in this image is I enhanced the colors of the feathers on her chest just a little bit in Photoshop to give it a little bit more saturation. But that's about it. So let's take a look at how we shot this image during the workshop. Now, as you can see, a pretty simple lighting setup, but as mentioned in other videos, simple can be pretty complicated because by just angling your light a little bit, you can totally change the look in your set. And always remember this when, for example, you try to copy diagrams from a book. The angle of the light is often not mentioned, but it's so important because, well, you all know feathering the light, right? Using the sides of the light to create a little bit of a softer quality of light. If you do that in a book with a diagram, it's just very, very difficult. So don't be disappointed if you see the video and you can't recreate it immediately. Start just changing one of the light sources and you can see how a huge impact that has on your photography. I hope this helped you out. If you like what we do, you know the drill. Press the like button for this video. Press the bell notification so you will be notified whenever we upload a new video. And of course, subscribe to our channel, but most importantly, tell other people about our channel so we can grow. And that's something that we really want to do. We want to make this photography channel larger so we can answer more of your questions. And that's the final thing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and maybe you will see your question answered in the next video in our digital classroom series. See you again next time. Bye guys.